Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, joining us on Bros on Nuggs, judging from the demographics. If you're into like YouTube analytics and podcast analytics, this is mostly
guys our age.
Guys age 34 to 44. That seems to be our target audience. Good news is everyone's going through a midlife crisis, so they might just hop on board with Bros on Nuggs. So I guess, how's it going, gentlemen? And like the two ladies that listen, one of which is my wife occasionally. So, how's everything going? Will, you were up in the mountains, yeah?
Yeah, man. Went tubing today with my mom and my kid. Yeah, well, Rowan, we didn't think would enjoy it. Not quite there yet. Probably cry after the first run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was out in Frisco and went tubing. It was fun. A couple times you thought you might fall if you go fast enough. So when you at the bottom of the hill, it's a little choppy, and then it goes, like a half pipe, if you will. And I have a lot of mass, so I was going pretty fast. I think you guys would too. And you go all the way to the top of the half pipe there, and I was like, "Am I gonna roll this thing over?" But hey, I'm safe. I'm here. Nothing bad happened. It was a lot of fun.
Did you go to outer range since you were in Frisco?
We didn't. Went to Ollie's Gastro Pub. That was pretty good. But outer range would have been fun. Went to Breck Brew yesterday, though.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good, man. So no skiing, more of a family-oriented trip?
Yeah, we didn't go skiing. I can only imagine what a lift pass would be at Breck these days. Probably like $130.
Oh, probably more than that, dude. But it was snowing though, wasn't it, on Saturday?
Yeah, it was. It was snowing pretty good. It was fun. Breck was really busy, so I guess that's a good thing for the resort towns. And we just hung out in Dillon and watched the Nuggets last night. And it was good seeing a Nuggets win against the Thunder. So ended my night well, and then the Avalanche won 6-2. So it's been a good weekend.
Yeah, good week, and spring training baseball's getting going. Not that we care at all.
Rockies won today.
Did they?
And Nolan went 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
Hey, there you go.
Woo! Sorry.
What a great move by the Rockies.
Yeah.
What a great move by the Rockies.
Already proving.
The other day, someone posted something on Instagram about how they were so excited about the Rockies coming, and I just popped in. I was like, I couldn't do it. I had to do it. I don't ever respond to people when they post, but I was like, don't waste your money going to the ballpark. The ownership cares about you going to their party deck. They don't care about putting winning teams out there. Very frustrated. Yeah, I got bitter bunnies with these guys right now.
Liz saw your social media reply to the post that the Rockies put out.
I asked on they showed like a spring training photo, and I said, "What's the emoji? Do they have a middle finger emoji?" Some guy said, "Try this." I was like, "Nice job."
Yeah.
All right.
Well, good stuff, man. Glad you're with us, Will. Glad you made it back from the mountains in time. I'm sure you had a great weekend. Yeah, it's good. Let's talk some Nuggs, huh?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you know that I like to work backwards and then if we get to the Hawks game, we do. I hated the Hawks game. The Hawks game made me so angry. So if we get there, whatever. The only note I had from the Hawks game is the word whatever. That's how frustrated I was. But last night was the MPJ show, man. Do you guys want to talk MPJ for a little bit?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because he's coming around slowly. But last night, again, we talked about it last week. If he scores 20 or more in a ball game, the Nuggets are going to win, man. And last night, he went off. It was good to see. Any thoughts on the game last night, particularly with MPJ?
I'll go. I thought he played well. I think that I think that might have been his best game of the season. I know the game before that he also played well, scored 20-something points, but I felt like he played the game right. He came out, he started attacking. He was also attacking rebounds. He was going after it. He was playing down low, and then he worked himself out. And every time he shot it, even on those couple where you're like, what is he doing? He actually squared up to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
So he's coming around, and it was a great thing to see. It was a night where Jokic was able to kind of take the night off and get a triple double.
Right.
It wasn't all on him. But it was just really good to see him playing that way, and I hope he can continue to play that way. It's the last 2 games have been glimpses of what we've all been hoping for all season long. So hopefully he can just take this and continue to ride with it on into the All-Star break and there beyond. But no, it was a great game. It was great to see him playing well. It was great to see Dozier back. Mm-hmm. Just overall, MPJ, hell of a game.
Yeah, man. Will, thoughts on MPJ?
Yeah, Kitty Wingy would call it a Mike night. I don't know if you guys are aware. They call it a Mike when he plays well. I think what was really nice for me to see is him starting to get his shot back and confidence in his 3-point shot. And like we always say with a lot of the Nuggets, working inside out, him setting his feet and working off of the screens and cutting and moving. And man, again, he is a walking bucket when he figures it out. And he had 18 points in the first half. He only had 2 in the second, but you didn't need to. We were coasting by that point, and it was really exciting to see. What did he make? 5 threes last night, guys? Tim, you want to check that out for me?
I think so.
5 threes last night. So had another double-double. He's been really attacking the boards again of late. We talked about that last week. When he rebounds well, the team gets more second chance points. We defend better when he rebounds because we only give out, obviously one shot. So it's been exciting to see. I know he can get better, and we got to find the stat of when he drops over, say, 15 points. What's our record? I would think it would be a winning one.
Yeah, I don't know the stat, but I would venture to say he might be leading our team in blocked shots. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked that up.
But he does block some shots from time to time. His game is improving as the year continues. It's a confidence thing with him, right? He doesn't handle adversity real well right now, but when he starts off hot, he has no problem getting himself into the game and working himself into the game. What makes me nervous is, when you miss those first couple shots, which inevitably will happen for MPJ, are you still going to be that guy that works the boards just as Will was describing? And are you still going to be that guy that tries to hustle around and fly around on defense, even though you may not know where you're going, you're still putting in the effort? And I don't know if we've yet to see that from him, that sort of overcoming adversity night, but still being effective, kind of like PJ Dozier was, man. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have to do a lot in terms of scoring to be an effective person on the team. The plus minus with PJ Dozier in last night was really good. He doesn't have to score, though he looked to get to the rim a couple times and hit a 3. So it was great to have PJ back. Maybe that was a little bit of that confidence boost going into this last week before the All-Star break. Just getting another guy to come in and bring energy and effort the way that we know PJ can. Maybe that just helps us out just that much more. Man, it'd be nice to go on a little run here before the All-Star break. The next 3 games, dude, it'd be great. Go 3-0. It's possible. The schedule's setting up for us that way. But as you guys know, we've been very inconsistent throughout the season. And this past week is a great example of that, where you go 2-2. But what do we do well? We win Northwest Division games, man. Mm-hmm. We win Northwest Division games. And Coach Malone has made that a priority from day one, right? From the moment he came in to coach for us, he made the priority, we will win Northwest Division games. If you win your division, you're getting into the playoffs, right? And we've I think, even though Utah is amazing, I think we have the same record as them against Northwest Division opponents at this point in time. So there you have it. We're going for that Northwest Division title. And, obviously that win over the Blazers was another example of that. And then OKC.
It was nice to beat up on OKC the way we should have the first two times.
Right.
The last OKC game was really frustrating. So it was nice to come out and be able to relax and watch this game. Going off of what Will said about MPJ having 18 points in the first half, 14 of those were in the first quarter.
Right.
So he came out and was just balling from the get-go, from tip. And we're giving him a lot of love, but you can't forget about Jamal as well.
Right.
He's starting to get more consistent, man. He had 26 points again last night. It was a team effort. Will Barton, if Will Barton's scoring 15 points a night, along with our other guys putting up those numbers, we're going to be real dangerous. So I just want to see our team play the way they did last night against a good team. Like we get high hopes after you see them against Cleveland, and you're like, we can play that way, and we can play that way against more challenging teams. So hopefully like PJ Dozier coming back and the All-Star break coming back, we can get on a little bit of a road, get on the road here and get going and come out of the All-Star break on just I don't even know the word I'm looking for.
That's okay. Yeah, if you win these next 3 games, you jump from, what are we, the 7th seed right now?
Mm-hmm.
You jump from 7 probably back up into the 4 area, or the 5, I would just assume. Will, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, I'm just drinking some whiskey. Are we just talking about here with the Thunder game still?
Just any last thoughts you might have for the Thunder game or for the hopes for our Nuggs going into the All-Star break.
I'm hoping. I know it's a lesser opponent that we should beat, but I'm hoping that you playing well and having ball movement, getting Dozier back, like you guys said. Which that was a sweet alley-oop to Hartenstein last night. I hope this will give us confidence, but we need to win these next 3 games. I mean, two out of the 3 is fine. I know it's going to be hard to beat Milwaukee. I know Indiana is never easy, no matter, even though they don't have Oladipo, they have Sabonis and Jeremy Lamb, who's an underrated player. So hopefully, moving into this little road trip we got here, we can take these next 3 games. Need to, with us playing Chicago, they love themselves some Jokic, so hopefully Jokic will dominate against the Bulls tomorrow night.
They do love Jokic, don't they? Like, there's like a whole section of fans on a typical year that are cheering for Jokic. The Serbs there, man, that's awesome.
One more thing I wanted to say too, because I've been ragging on him a little bit. It was good to see Monte play and shoot better last night. So, Monte's great. You just trust Monte. I think I was talking to you guys via text. I was getting frustrated about our guards' field goal percentage overall, and we need Monte to shoot well, at least knock down open shots. So it was good to see him and Will the Thrill knock down some shots, and I think they had 28 points. Monte had 13, Barton had 15, Barton had 5 rebounds, and then they had like 8 assists together from those 2 guard positions. So, like Tim said, when Barton plays well and Monte and our vets play well, obviously we're gonna beat up on some teams, and hopefully that can continue as we move forward into this road trip.
Yeah, we really are missing dudes. I mean, let's be real. I appreciate our depth. I like our depth, particularly at the guard spot, right? You were talking about this last week, Tim. But we're missing guys. I mean, to miss Paul Millsap, who we thought, was getting old, but you forget he was having a nice run of games before he got injured. And then obviously missing Green is missing that toughness. Now, his 3-ball was struggling a little bit before his injury, but still – you're missing another dude to fill in. And we've had to depend on guard play, and we've had to speed up the game a little bit. And Jamal Murray has had to take on a lot of that load, and he's done so respectively. But again, the problem with our whole season is every time there's these good games, right? Every time there's a good game. I mean, did you really think after beating Portland that we would show up and lose to the Wizards at home? Did you really think that was going to happen? After the way we lost in Washington, you would have thought, all right, dude, it's go time. We're gonna blow these dudes out of the water. I don't care who's playing.
Yeah,
we're gonna get to them, and we didn't. So this is the problem with the Nuggets this year, and that's why I'm lost when it comes to the Nuggets, and I feel like they're kind of lost as a team because every time something good happens, they seem to take another step back. So they'll take a step forward and a step back, a step forward, a step back, but there's no consistent gain with this team. And that's troubling here, which is why I think we all agree, man, we need to go into the break I mean, it'd be nice to win all three, but at least 2 of the 3 to be in the right position after the break. And, Jokic will be busy over the break. The poor dude has barely got any rest. It was good last night that he got to sit the 4th.
Yep.
But, I mean, he's going to be busy over the break through the All-Star stuff. And I don't know. I get nervous with where we are right now. We have to get out of that 7 and 8 seed. You do not want to play in those playing games and then go play I'm not really worried about Utah, but then go play an LA team. You don't want that to happen, man. Any last thoughts from last night's game, Tim?
RJ's dunk.
Yeah, he's making
your boy RJ, man.
Have they announced the dunk contest competitors yet?
Not that I know of, but I don't think
he won't be in there though. COVID.
Don't say that. He's so good at dunking.
No, COVID.
Pretty sweet. That was something special.
COVID protocols. He's done.
He's on COVID protocols.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
And then
today?
Yeah.
Dang it.
And Faku's been playing well too. He had another good game. Scrappy on defense, getting lots of turnovers.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear him scream when he tried to dunk it last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny. Apparently he can dunk though. They have seen it. Faku can dunk.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
That scream last night, a squeal when he tried. Hilarious.
Yeah. Faku is an interesting cat, man. He's an interesting cat, but he does some good things on defense. He passes really well.
He's good. He's figuring out, like I said last week, he's figuring out the NBA.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he's a part of our organization.
Yeah, no doubt about it, dude. No doubt about it. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right. Cool. Do you guys want to recap the Wizards game? Because that was ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So the Wizards game again, I thought that we would show up for this one, especially after the big win over Portland. Even though Melo was taking it to us, we ended up overcoming that and got a huge win against Portland. And then I'm just thinking in the back of my mind, will this be the game where we actually just kind of come out and just dominate a team that we probably should have beat back in Washington and didn't? And unfortunately, it's the same type of game where we're settling for jumpers, where we're not attacking the rim enough. And then all of a sudden, Bradley Beal's being aggressive at the end of the game and getting to the foul line. And it was almost like a replay of the first game versus Washington. So, yeah, I wanted to get your guys' opinions on what was going on there in that Wizards game. Let's start with Will.
Yeah, I thought we would dominate it with our El Guapo Bertans out from last game.
Right.
And yeah, it's a different game, same story. The Wizards do a great job of getting to the free throw line. It's part of their offense with Westbrook and Bill being aggressive. I was with Bertans being out, I thought our bench should and would outplay the Wizards. I'm sorry, the Bullets, Wizards. I can't remember anymore. And they dominated us. So I really felt like, and I know we've been talking about how great Faku's playing. I think Nieto kind of took him that game. That's not the reason we lost, but yeah, just how many times that they're able to get to the free throw line absolutely killed us. It was good to see this consistency in regards with Jamal balling out in the fourth quarter. Besides that last play, which was extremely frustrating. Oh man, I just can't believe they all. Why aren't you cutting to the basket? Again, should have tied that game. Should have went into overtime. Yeah, again, same game or different game, same story. Maybe do you think it's the same thing? Like why can't we beat the Kings? We can't beat the Wizards. Same kind of thing. They just have our number and they go to the free throw line and they're more aggressive than us and we play down.
Well,
I mean.
That was the game, right? One of you guys texted. That was the game where post-game Murray says something about our rim protection, right?
Layup after layup after layup. He said we don't have an inside presence.
Yeah, when you have a team that likes to attack the rim and draw fouls, as Washington wants to do and is good at doing, even though it hasn't equated to a lot of wins on their end, they're very good at getting to the foul line. When you have a team like that, you want to have a dude in the middle who makes them a little bit nervous about going all the way to the rack, right? And no, we don't have that guy. Even with a full squad, we don't have that guy.
No, but I think Millsap and Green help out with that situation a little bit.
Mhm.
I mean, they're not the answer. They're not the answer. I've been saying this for a couple of years now. We lack a big guy in the middle. Yes, Jokic is a 7-footer, but he doesn't play underneath very often, so he's not down there to be an intimidator. So it'd be nice to see us go out and get a free agent or even pull someone from another roster at some point. That game was really frustrating. Our big three, if you will, Jokic, Murray, and MPJ combined for 76 points.
Right.
I was in my mind, I don't know if I said this during one of our Bros on Nuggs, but I just assumed if we scored between those three 75 points or more, we're winning the game. But obviously that was proved. I was proved wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a frustrating game. We were there offensively. It felt like defensively we were not obviously showing up. That last play was terrible. People were throwing MPJ under the bus. Facu could have cut. Monte Morris could have cut. Maybe that's just a sign of today's NBA. Everybody wants to shoot a three. We want to win the game now. You don't want to go into overtime. Whereas we needed the win. We needed the win. So one of those three guys, defensively, they stopped ball, as you're supposed to. They stopped ball, so Murray was at the three-point line. He could have taken a contested three. Instead, he makes a crappy pass to Facu. One of those three guys on that perimeter there needs to understand what's going on and attack the basket where there's nobody, and you tie it and you send it to overtime. There was a lack of communication. It was a breakdown. Real shitty way to end a game. That was just a really frustrating game from tip to finish. But like I said, 76 points from three guys. I thought we could have won. But going back to what I said about Will Barton scoring in double digits, he only had 2 points that game. And then, from Will, we need 10 or more, I think. Even when our big group of guys are scoring 75 plus points, it was just definitely a disappointing loss.
So we started that game 3 for 13. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Brutal. Oh, man.
Because the end of the game, that's what resonates. But you started the game 3 of 13 until MPJ cracks the egg with a 3 and kind of gets the game rolling a little bit for us. But that, to me, that was just a sign. I was like, oh, no, this isn't going to go well. Why were we 3 of 13? Because we were settling for jumpers, right? We were 1-2 pass on the perimeter, taking a jumper. We weren't trying to get to the rim. We weren't getting Jokic involved in the post. And, lo and behold, you're 3 for 13. And that wasn't good, right? This was one of those games where after every quarter, I looked at the scoreboard and I thought to myself, how are we even close? Like, watching the game, you would think Washington was just dominating the game. Like, I honestly would think, all right, into the first, they're up 15. And they weren't. We're right around there. And then halftime, I was like, no way. We're only down by like 3 or 2 or whatever it was. Same with the third quarter. I was like, how are we in this game? The styles are very obvious. And they're attacking. They're playing hard. We're settling for jumpers. And yet we're still in this game. But, if that's the way you're going to play a game, at some point, that lack of aggressiveness is going to catch up to you. And so the last play of the game is that. It's that it's the microcosm of the way we played the whole night, right? Mm-hmm. And that is somewhat confused, not attacking the basket, settling, right? And that's how you end up losing. So, yes, the last play was a disaster, but people forget the play before that. MPJ passed up a wide open corner 3, right? I was like, what are you doing? You've been shooting the ball well tonight. Don't pass that up. And that's a learning moment for him. And I would assume he probably doesn't pass that up ever again if he's that open. But I mean, he had an opportunity there to knock down a 3 to put us up by 1. That probably could have sealed the deal for us, but he didn't. And then it led to that disastrous fast break at the end where all Jamal Murray has to do is attack the freaking rack. And it's a tie ball game, and he refuses to do that. And in my mind, I'm thinking, attack the rim. Then when he slows down for the 3, I'm like, just shoot it because there's no other option right now, right? There's no other option. Then he doesn't shoot it. We didn't have one of those other dudes cut into the rack. You should have. It's a 3-on-1, man. You should have a guy cutting to the rim with the dude dribbling towards the rim, Jamal, and then you should have an outlet 3 kick-out guy, and it was just 3 threes. And that's ugly basketball, man. Ugly basketball. And if you play that way, you're going to lose games. No doubt about it. Okay.
You know, one
yeah,
more
go ahead,
thing too. I just had to say this because this pissed me off, and he got away with it, and that's not the reason we lost. But Robin Lopez is setting screens. He's like doing the splits, and he's not even set. He just keeps on getting wider and wider, and they let it happen all night long. And it got Bill open at the end of the game a lot, and I was pretty frustrated about that. Again, NBA. Robin Lopez actually played good defense on Jokic. Another guy that Dave, I think you like from the Wizards, Hachimura played great. I think he dropped like 24 points. He attacked the rim and knocked down open jump shots. He's a good player. But it was just so frustrating. Again, good to see Murray catch fire again in the fourth and made it for a fun game. But
there was one other moment I'd like to highlight in that game, and it happened in the first quarter. So Zeke was in, right? And he was only in for like a minute and a half at most. And Malone brings Conchar in for Zeke. And I forget who Conchar was guarding, but that dude goes off for 6 straight points. Like the minute Conchar comes in, they're like, give me the ball. He went off for 6 straight points, and it extended their lead up to like 14 or something. And I was just like, dang it, what a dumb sub. Like Zeke can defend a little bit, and they saw Conchar and were like, we're going straight at him, which they did.
That's a good point. This last there was that 6-minute frame where we had Zeke in, Monte was out, Porter was out, and we were playing really great defense and getting back into the game.
Yep.
And then we switched that in the last like 3 minutes, and then they went on a little run. And it was frustrating because Zeke was playing great defense.
Yeah, he was. And yeah, they brought Conchar in, and they scored 6 straight one-on-one against Conchar, man. Brutal.
That was a rough game.
It was a rough game. And Jokic had a rough go in the third. Like once Lopez decided to try to get physical with him, he kind of had a rough go a little bit there in the second half. And, that's the MO on him. Now, the good news is there's not a lot of bigs that can do it to him, and he's gotten a lot quicker in the post, so it's harder to be physical with him. But, man, if you get a guy who kind of catches Jokic on a little bit of an off night and then gets super physical with him, Jokic is still – that's kind of that's the one thing that can stop him right now because he's obviously playing out of –
Was that the game you got a T, or was that the Hawks game?
Portland.
It was Portland. Yeah.
Portland game. I don't know that. I don't know how you go from one turnover in the Portland game to how many ever the hell turnovers we had against the Wizards.
I think they had 8 in the first quarter or something like that.
One the previous game, and then you're just like, oh, we saved them all for when we play the Wizards.
I know.
Hey, guys. I mean, I get one's an anomaly. I mean, it doesn't happen. I mean, it's an NBA record.
Yeah.
But, I mean, come on, guys.
You know me, I am a firm believer in the idea of yin and yang and like like if we go out and score 140, the next night we're going to score like 108. You know what I mean? Like it's just if we're 12
Spread the love.
Yeah, if we're 30 for 32 field goals in a game, the next game is going to be a slow shooting night. That's the way it goes, man. Okay. You guys, let's do an I'm not overreacting, you're overreacting before we get into our Blazers game. William?
I'm not overreacting. You're overreacting. RJ deserves consistent minutes. I'm tired that a guy like Will Barton has such a long leash, and I get it. They're rookies. There's a valid argument there with Nanji and Hampton, but at least they play defense and they play with effort no matter what, and why they learn through these mistakes. I get tired and I get frustrated with Malone when he gives a guy like Barton such a long leash. One would say, I'm sure you guys will tell me he deserves it, but I'm tired. I'm tired of it, and I was pretty sad these last couple of games until Hampton got to play last night. And now he's in COVID protocols. That his that his minutes have diminished this past week. So I'm not overreacting. You're overreacting. Malone loves himself some vets and hates himself some rookies.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Tim, I'm not overreacting. You're overreacting.
I'm not overreacting. You're overreacting. That technical that our boy Jokic got was bullshit. It was bullshit. if you go back, I read a whole thing on it, and there's, if you will, a theory. But he was asking the ref, "Why are you laughing at me?" And the ref was continuing to do it, so it pissed him off. And if you watch the video in slow motion, he's repeating, "Why are you laughing at me? Why are you laughing at me? Why are you laughing at me?" So I'm not overreacting. You're overreacting. That ref should be looked into and fined, because I mean that's unprofessional. If you're really laughing at a player, that's unprofessional.
Yeah.
And that's showing favoritism. So that's mine for today.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that his nickname's the Joker, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it goes. I'm not overreacting. You're overreacting. RJ Hampton would win the dunk contest, so please put him in it. Although he's on COVID protocols, I don't care.
He can dunk with the mask on.
He can dunk with a mask on. There's not going to be anyone in the arena. Give him. He can. Here's what they need to do. They need to allow him to dunk and then wait 14 minutes, and then the next guy can come in and dunk.
Have him dunk in the practice arena and everybody else in the big arena.
Yeah, or just
he can dunk from home.
Dunk from home, man.
Virtual dunk contest.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so awesome.
Great idea.
He loves to throw down on someone, doesn't he?
He does.
He really does.
Number 1 on NBA.com. Top 10 plays last night.
Was it?
Nice.
Oh, man. He really loves to dunk on a fool. He's athletic, dude. He is fun. He is fun.
That's why I want to see more of him.
Yeah, I do too.
We're going to get more of them.
Yeah, particularly, although Barton threw down a sick reverse dunk. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, wasn't that was against Portland too, yeah?
That was a Blazers game, yeah. Yeah, dude. Okay. So anyway, that's where we are. All right. Timmy must have loved the Blazers game because our boy Jokic took it to Cantor.
He did, but I think Cantor was getting under his skin in the first half, and that was part of his frustrations that led to his technical. But in my notes I had, Jokic showed his maturity because Cantor was getting under his skin, as Cantor does, being a physical big. And I think last year Jokic would have fallen into that trap of Cantor pushing him and bullying him around. So why Cantor scares me because of the way he's played against Jokic in the past. I think this game, Jokic showed his maturity. Yes, he got that tee at the end of the game, like I alluded to earlier. The ref was laughing at him, apparently, so hopefully the league looks into that. But, yeah, I mean, I'll eat my words on that one. He dominated Jokic. He dominated Cantor. He scored 41 points. Cantor couldn't do anything. He really came out in that second half after that technical, and I was really thinking, oh, shit, we're seeing Jokic is going to get more pissed. He's going to start getting more fouls. And I really just think, he's been playing such a high level all season. I just really think he showed his maturity. He didn't fall into the trap that is Cantor, which always scares me when we play Cantor.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a confidence thing for Jokic. Like this year, he's just like, I'm not going to play that game. Mm-hmm. And he definitely, though he's not as strong as Cantor, he certainly was not afraid. Did not back down.
So that's good. For a while there, I thought it was going to be the Melo show.
Oh, God.
I was real freaking nervous. I was like, oh, man, is he going to win his first game in Denver since leaving us?
Yeah.
Which he did not. Thank
yeah.
God. Boom. And then obviously you can't talk about that Portland game without mentioning the 19 fourth quarter points by our boy Jamal Murray.
Yeah, dude.
He had himself a hell of a game. And this was another game. This was a game where our big three, they scored 77 points. So I guess, if we're in that 75 range, we're 50-50 this week. So I don't know. I kind of figured we'd win those ones. But it was a good overall game. I was very excited about it.
Oh,
it's always great, especially Portland. I was always kind of like, oh, Portland, Then you had the jail Blazers, and when we were growing up, and it was always kind of like, let's make fun of Portland. And then we go there and we go to a game, and then I was just like, fuck these guys.
Yeah.
They were just kind of an afterthought, to me. And then for my bachelor party when we were there and we went and we lost, and their fans were talking so much shit, and I was just like, you know what? I really hate these guys. So,
Timmy, let's do it.
And I was just me talking about Portland. Love their beer and their food.
Oh yeah.
That's not here nor there, but I was just, it was great. It was great to beat them.
Oh, I love beating Portland. It all stems back to that series that we lost to them. What was that? 3 years ago now? Oh my goodness, time is flying by, man. But yeah, it all goes back to that series. yeah, my hatred for Portland is real. What do you think, Will, about that Portland game?
Yeah, like Tim said, Melo was feeling his jumper, man. It was fun to see in some weird way. I didn't want him to win, but I was like, oh man, Melo's going off tonight. Obviously, he scored a lot of points in that arena, so I was worried there. And then we started doubling him, and he was making the right play. And they went on a little run there at the end of the first half. Got me a little worried. I was happy to see how, and maybe he was just tired a little bit because he wasn't the regular Dame Lillard. But I thought we defended Lillard really well without Gary Harris. Usually Gary has that assignment, and it's interesting to go back to Facu is how he can really irritate some people. He irritated Bradley Beal. He irritated Dame Lillard.
He irritated.
It's fun to see. It's a player you love to have on your team, and if you're a Blazers fan, you're like, God, I hate that guy. So again, it was it's good to see that we could get under Dame Lillard's skin, because if he can go off on you and definitely light you up. And then Melo cooled off in the second half, and Jamal stepped up when we needed him and made some really big shots, and you could start to see him get that confidence going in that fourth quarter. And it's fun to see Jamal play like that. So, and then, and of course, another great game by Jokic, another 40-point game by Jokic. He already has, I think, 4 or 5 this season. So it was exciting to see Jokic play well against Enes Kanter, like you guys said previously. And again, our young guys still get minutes, like seeing Zeke still play well. And seeing these other guys play well, and I was just happy to see us always beat the Blazers, because just like Tim, I do not like them very much. I know the Blazers have their own injuries with McCollum and Nurkic out, but it's still a game you needed to win, particularly with Northwest Division standings, and we're going to be right there with them in the standings. I know there are a couple games ahead of us right now. I feel like we're better than them in the Spurs, so hopefully we can move up the standings, and those division games are huge. So big win. You needed that win at home. And I'm glad they took care of business, because we were tied in the third quarter, and I was a little nervous there until the Murray flurry, if you will.
Yeah.
Good to see. Needed it. Hopefully we can continue to beat up on Northwest Division teams.
Is it fair to say that Nurkic being injured is no longer like a surprise, and that when he actually plays for them, it's a surprise? So is Nurkic even like an out anymore for that team? Now McCollum is, but I mean Nurkic has not played.
He's been out a whole lot,
like the last 3 years.
He's not a huge out. That's a good point. Zach Collins too. Those guys have always been hurt the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Man, Gary Trent Jr. was knocking down some shots. He got me worried. He's a good shooter.
He is a good shooter. Zach Collins is a guy that worries me. I like his game. He's a good outside shooter as well, but he does a lot of things physically. He worries me more than Nurkic. Nurkic does not scare me at all anymore.
No.
But that's okay. A few things about the Blazers game. First of all, I think it's the first game of 3 in a row where MPJ has showed up and played with effort, right? Mm-hmm. So if we can get that consistently from MPJ the rest of the season, good things are going to happen for us. And again, I love to see him score. He will score because he's such a good shooter and such an advanced offensive threat. But when he's just playing hard, that's what matters. And he has played hard the last 3 games. And it started with the Blazers game. He was really the only dude at the beginning of that game where I was like, this guy wants to compete tonight. And he did, right?
And he did.
I think our team loves when Will Barton dunks it. I think, like, if you watch our bench when old man Barton dunks it, like, everyone is just hyped. And that actually, yeah, that one dunk he had in the first quarter actually kind of got us on a little spurt of stuff going there. So that's good. All right. But what intrigued me most about this game was the Kanter Jokic matchup. And at the end of the first, or towards the end of the first, Jokic and Kanter get into it in an out of bounds play. I don't know if you remember that. Do you guys remember that?
No.
Okay, so the ref's trying to give Kanter a ball out of bounds.
Oh, yes.
And Jokic and Kanter are sort of like shoving each other a little bit and like, kind of messing around, right? And Jokic, the very next play that Jokic gets the ball, he just goes straight at Kanter in the post and scores. And then the next play after that was a steal. It We had a great steal. MPJ drives right past Melo for the layup. And then we got another stop, and Facu nailed a 3. And at that point in time, I was like, this is if Jokic is willing to play this kind of physical way with Cantor, it kind of sets the tone for the whole team. And I think there are moments where Jokic loses that physicality. I think he lost it in the Blazers game, which hurt us. If he remains physical, I think it gives your team an edge a little bit, right? But yeah, I'm with you guys. I thought my note from the second quarter was, "Oh, crew world, why is Melo going off? Like, be the guy who wins the game for them." I was like, this is awful, right? And then Liz made a note as I was putting my daughter to sleep during the third quarter, which I didn't get to see much of. Liz said, Liz is freaking out, very distraught over the unenthusiastic play of the Denver Nuggets overall. So
that was our third quarter.
Yeah.
So,
Real guapo.
Liz was like, I don't know if they're going to make it. But, like
it was a slow third quarter.
Like you guys mentioned, Jamal showed up in the fourth and good things happened. And the Blazers, we sent them a packing, which is the best. The Blazers.
Take that L.
Take that L on the way out. What team do you guys like to beat the most? I mean, the Blazers they're in the top 5 for me. I don't know if they're number 1. They might be number 1.
Blazers are up there.
Lakers.
Jazz. Lakers.
Lakers.
San Antonio.
Even still?
Still.
Okay.
They whooped up on us for years.
Yeah.
And we need to now, for me to get that bitter taste out of my mouth, we need to whoop up on them for years.
For like 2 decades.
That was a rough stress. I mean, they knocked us out of the playoffs. I don't know how many times. Same with the Lakers back then. And, I don't know. The freaking Lakers just buy championships.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. Yeah, but the Trailblazers are up there. The Jazz are up there. Obviously, the Lakers has to be the number 1. That's the number 1 team you like to beat, right? The Lakers. All of us agree there.
I think so. Yes.
Then are the Trailblazers number 2?
I think the Jazz. I'd rather beat the Jazz than the Trailblazers. I don't know. I know Tim does not like the Trailblazers.
That might be a tie for second.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
That's tough.
They're 2-3. I don't know how to put them.
Yeah.
2A, 2B.
Yeah, 2A, 2B. I love it, man. But what a fun win. And again, to lose to the Wizards after that was a real downer, but that was a fun game.
You went from 1 turnover to I don't even know how many turnovers we had in that Wizards game. It was like we were giving them the basketball at one point.
It was.
Here you go, Wizards. Take the ball.
Take the ball. No, it really felt that way. There was a time where
I want to see if we can come back.
Will Barton does like a behind the back dribble move that just like ends up right in like the Bill's hands for a layup. I'm just like, what is going on? Yeah, dude.
I'm proud of our boys after that Portland game.
Yeah. I think the thing I say the most is, "Oh God, Will Barton."
Yeah. He really is frustrating, man, because
Yeah.
He'll be better coming off the bench once everyone's back. Honestly, Will Barton is better off the bench when he can just come in and try to score a little bit and not try to do too much. So once we get everyone healthy, if that ever happens this season, probably not. But yeah, dude, Will Barton is very frustrating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, man. I don't know. I watched part of the Hawks game, but I was just so distraught like halfway through that I just kind of gave up on that.
Yeah. MPJ had a good start. He was 4 for 4.
Okay.
Bull got some action early. He had 5 points. He hit a 3, and obviously had a good little shot on the inside as well. Jokic though in that game didn't score until 1:10 left in the first quarter. So Jokic wasn't getting his early. When you take him out early, you're going to hurt us. Murray only had 9 points. Second quarter, it started off great. Bull got a steal with his long-ass arms. But from there on is where we kind of went, ooh. We gave up 37 points in that second quarter.
Yeah.
And then my notes for the third quarter were terrible, horrible, no good, bad quarter.
Terrible, horrible. No good, bad quarter.
And then my final note was at least we fought there at the end in the fourth quarter. But I mean, we didn't show up to play for that game. I don't know where we were. I get it was the last game of a road trip, but wasn't a long road trip. I don't know what happened in that one. Very, very frustrating. It was a tough game to watch.
Yeah, I turned it off.
I missed the only game out of all these games I watched all of was Portland. I missed several. Helping the wife with the kid. But that Atlanta game, that road trip itself.
Yeah, dude.
I know we talked about some of those games last week, but that road trip in itself was just extremely disappointing, and that Atlanta game was really disappointing.
Yeah, man. Will, do you have any thoughts about that Atlanta game? I'm
not able to defend the 3-point line whatsoever. It was one of those games where you just could tell from the jump we weren't going to bring effort or consistent effort. Yeah, like you said, Melo having trouble at the start. I don't know if that's a Capella playing defense or, I think it's a little bit Capella, a little bit just not interested. And we haven't seen that kind of Jokic in a while. I'm glad it was just one game. Gallinari went off. Gallinari started going off on us a little bit too. So old Danilo.
He's playing well right now, man.
He's shooting well for them.
The next game.
I just felt like there was a lot of uncontested shots, a lack of effort about running guys off the 3-point line and closing out. And yeah, that really, really bad second quarter and really bad third. It was brutal. The game was really hard to watch.
We didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
We had already checked out. We wanted to be home. Jokic was tired. That's how I perceived Jokic's play early. He was tired.
I get it. There's a lot of fun stuff to do in Hot Atlanta, but not during COVID.
Apparently, there's a place in Hot Atlanta that has really good chicken wings.
I mean, people leave the bubble to get these chicken wings. I do want to try those chicken wings at some point.
I would love to try those chicken wings.
I want to hear what all the hype is about these wings. I love me a good chicken wing.
Where did this come from? All right.
How about those chicken wings in Houston, Dave?
Will, can we go on a chicken wing tangent real quick?
Please.
Okay. Tim and I, it's called the Galloping Gale.
No, maybe it was the Galloping. I thought it was the Gorgeous Gale.
Anyway, there's a place in Rice Village in Houston that fries their chicken wings in duck fat.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
You pick up the wing, the meat falls off.
Oh, dude. And their sauce is delicious.
The sauce is delicious.
I would say that's the best chicken wing I've ever had.
The Bronco Bar? Was that at the Bronco Bar or is this different?
Well, that is the same bar I watched the Broncos win Super Bowl 50. The Bronco Bar kind of rotated. I moved down there for a winter, and I was like, I got to watch my Broncos with people that like the Broncos. So I went to several different bars, but the Gorgeous Gale, it was right next to this place, too, that had like 500 or 150 beers on tap that we went to as well. But those chicken wings, man, I want to go back to Houston just to eat those chicken wings.
If they're still on the menu. Will, best chicken wing you've ever had?
Best chicken wing I've ever had? I don't know, man. I like the ones at O'Flurry's. I've had those before. I haven't had them in a long time. It's been like a couple of years. O'Flurry's, that's by the Omelet Parlor.
Yeah, they're good there.
They have some pretty good chicken wings. I like the honey sriracha we had the other night, but that's not a great wing. It's just a good sauce.
Yeah.
Brown Dog has really good boneless chicken wings. I'm not a boneless person usually at all, but their boneless wings are really good in Telluride. So, and one of I'm remembering now. They're smoked chicken wings that are breaded at used to be Fat Alley. Now it's called Oak now in Telluride.
Oh yeah.
Smoked chicken wings with that like honey bourbon barbecue sauce or whatever they had.
Yep.
Woo! That was good, but that's not like a buffalo wing. I like myself a traditional buffalo wing when I'm thinking about chicken wings.
The best chicken wing in Colorado Springs, and I will say it right now, is Front Range Barbecue's smoked wings with their half hot sauce and half barbecue sauce, dude. Oh my gosh, it is. Well, they smoke. The smoked stuff from there is amazing, but dude, and they run out of them very, very fast. You have to order them early. Yeah, you have to be there at lunch. Like if it's dinner time, they're gone.
They're gone.
Yeah.
I heard there's a place in Palmer Lake.
I've heard that too.
There's a place in Palmer Lake that bar that's in Palmer Lake. They're supposed to have really good chicken wings.
Let's go.
But maybe that's a good sunny day. Let's go sit by the lake up on a porch and eat some chicken wings.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that when all this nonsense is over.
So 2022, we'll see you there.
Will, dude, you need to get you need to get on whoever's in charge of your program to get vaccinated, man. That's got to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife gets her shot tomorrow.
Good. All right, man. Time out with Tim, since we just had a really good tangent.
I guess I kind of already went into it. I was going to talk about that ref being unprofessional.
Yeah, you already did it.
And laughing. I mean, it wasn't technically timeout with Tim. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
But go, people. Go out there. Google it. You could see, like, when I watched it live, I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And then you, like, see it slowed down, and you can even tell he's saying, why are you laughing at me? Why are you laughing at me? Is what he's saying over and over again to the official. So that's poor taste. Maybe that's another one of those conspiracy theories if you want to get into it with the NBA and Stern's manipulation, a.k.a. Adam Silver's manipulation it is
NBA
now.
Anon.
Yeah, NBA Anon. So, yeah, I kind of went into it. I'm sorry. It just kind of happened during my normal rant.
No, that's good. I'm glad you did it.
But fuck that ref.
Okay. There you have it.
There you go.
There we go.
Did you guys?
I got a little tangent here, and he's been pissing me off lately. It's Chris Marlowe.
Yeah.
Jinx, and he is not a homer. I swear there's so many times there's some pretty ridiculous fouls, and you got to love Scott. And he's all like, no, that's a foul.
Scott,
I'm like, shut up, Marlowe.
Yeah. Hastings,
I get so mad at him.
That Marlowe's like, I can't even be a homer.
Yeah.
I think that's why they have them together. Marlowe jinxed Jokic's run.
Free throw.
He's like, he's 46 for 46. Ding! And you're like, oh my God, you're an asshole.
God damn it, Marlowe.
He's also auditioning for to be a commentator on the Olympics. So he always does this every 4 years because he likes to announce the volleyball games at Olympics. So every 4 years, if you guys notice Marlowe, just pay attention. Every 4 years, Marlowe gets a little objective. He gets a little objective in his announcing, and it's very frustrating. Very frustrating. So.
I don't like the MP with the lawn J. When Michael Porter Jr. knocks down a three, I'm like,
he has no good calls except for Jokic because he likes to speak Serbian. But
yeah,
he doesn't have any other good calls. Let's just admit it. Sorry,
I haven't been a fan of him for years. He used to really. He's gotten under my skin several times throughout.
An Olympian, though. He's an Olympian.
Punchable face Marlowe.
Yeah, he does. He just like you want to drink some scotch with Scott and you want to punch Marlowe. I mean, can you make those happen at the same time? Can you and Scott drink a bottle of scotch and then just make fun of Marlowe?
I bet that could happen.
And I think that would be a good time.
Another punchable face was that guard from Washington who's I don't know, he was like their starting three. I can't remember. It's like Harrison or Garrison. He had a punchable face.
Well, who has the most punchable face of all time in your eyes? Like, if you see a guy on the street and you're gonna punch him in the face, like, who is that guy? Like, who do you just be like, shut up and just punch him?
It's Manu Ginobili, man. Do you think Ginobili has a punchable face?
No, he's got a very punchable face. I'd love to break his nose.
That's a great question, Tim. I'm trying to think of the people who really, really irritate me. And, I mean, Ginobili kind of comes up there at the top. I hated him a long time ago when I was in college. I really, really hated Ginobili. But, yeah, that's the one I can think of right now.
Mine's Harry Kane.
Harry Kane. Yeah.
Harry Kane.
He has a punchable face.
Very punchable. Well, it's just, with a schnoz like that, it'd be hard to miss if you threw a haymaker. So you just let it go. You know what I mean? Okay. Did you guys notice how fast the first half went by last night?
Super fast. I was cooking too, trying to watch it while I was cooking. I was like, dang, this thing's going by fast.
It was over in like 45 minutes, man.
Do we got a fundamental today, boys?
Oh, well, a micro fundamental we sort of already commented on, and that is on a fast break, a 3-on-1, 3-on-2.
Yeah.
You should have a guy cutting to the rim with the ball handler should be getting to the paint. That's your goal as the ball handler in that situation, to get to the paint, to make that defender commit. And then you should have a guy cutting with you in a 2-on-1 situation, and you should have a kick out for a 3 guy instead of a guy stopping at the 3-point line, another guy stopping at the 3-point line, and a third guy stopping at the 3-point line. Like, you didn't make that defender have to do anything, and you ended up settling for a Compazzo buzzer beater, which is like the worst thing.
It was a terrible pass too.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a low pass.
That would be my fundamental run the break right there.
Mine would just be repeating something I said earlier. I got real frustrated this week with stop the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'd already used that once, but we really struggled. We struggled with it in the Atlanta game. We struggled with it in the Wizards game. I mean, we even at one point for a little bit there, we even were just letting the OKC drive right past us when our entire team was right there. So, I mean, I don't have anything new. I apologize, but mine would be, again, to reiterate that stuff.
Yeah.
That is something Compazzo's really good at, by the way.
Compazzo's great. I love Compazzo.
Stand up for your man.
He gets under people's skin. I would hate him if he wasn't on our team. That's why I think I enjoy him so much.
Yeah, we kind of have a couple of those guys now.
Yeah.
What about you, Will?
Mine is, I think we're all repeating ourselves here. It happened with MPJ again. He gets the rebound and he brings it below his waist, and he doesn't know what he's doing with the ball, and he gets it stolen. Like Russell Westbrook just went right around him and took the ball, and I'm like, dude, if you just keep the ball high and pivot, if you don't want to bring the ball up or you want to see what's happening, then just keep the ball high and then hit your outlet, and we're good on a big rebound in the fourth quarter, and you turn the ball over. And I was so mad, and that's happened like 3 or 4 times with MPJ. So I'm like, just chin the basketball.
Yeah.
Talk to Ryan Bowen. He'll tell you how to chin the basketball.
Yeah, he will. He really will.
So that's the one I got so mad at Porter Jr. that rebound that he just got stolen from him right away because he nonchalantly wasn't looking, had the ball below his waist, and it was like easy pickings for a guy like Russell Westbrook.
Yeah. Active hands. Always.
That was my fundamental. Chin the basketball.
Absolutely.
Do the white guy pivot. Use your elbows.
Yeah, all that. All those things. All good things, man. Okay, so we want to kind of wrap it up here. It's Sunday night. We all have to go either make dinner or prep dinner or buy dinner or something. But what are you looking forward to this weekend and going into the All-Star break? Like, me personally, I'm just pumped that Jokic is a starter. I'm excited to watch him play now with some confidence in an All-Star game instead of being that guy who's there who maybe just doesn't know if he deserves it. The fan vote has recognized the fact that the dude deserves to be the starting center for the All-Star game, so I'm pumped about that. We'll have an All-Star edition next weekend, my friends, and we're going to bring in some guests for that, and we're going to do it right next weekend for the All-Star weekend, just so everyone knows. Anything you guys are looking forward to this week with the Nuggs?
I'll just follow you up on seeing Jokic get the start in the All-Star game because I feel like they never played him enough minutes. He's not the flashy guy that you want to have in the All-Star game. He makes his plays, but I never felt like he played him enough. So it'll be nice to get to see him have a few minutes with those guys out there on the court more than the previous years. I would like to see him in the skills challenge again.
Me too.
I would like to see him come back and try to do that. I get he's slow, but he is skillful and he's quick in his own way. But yeah, I mean, I think it will be a good week. I think we can go 2-1, if not 3-0 this next week, depending on how we're playing. And I'd like to see it the latter, but I mean, if we can get 2 more wins before the break, I'll be happy. Looking forward to it. Chicago should be good if they can play. Their game got canceled yesterday or today.
Chicago's did?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
No.
Can we get to choose our team? Because I'll take OKC or Cleveland.
Can we play Cleveland one more time?
Can we play Cleveland? Oh, man.
Yeah, go ahead, Will.
I want to see Jokic take it to Embiid because I'm tired of the social media haters talking about how much Embiid is better than Jokic. So I want to see Embiid and Jokic battle in the All-Star game. I don't know. It just kind of feels weird, though, too. I hope, not, knock on wood, it's kind of silly to have an All-Star game this year.
Yes.
So I hope nothing to any team bad comes out of these players all playing a game unnecessarily next week. So again, I don't even who's in the dunk contest. I have no idea. Have they announced that?
I don't think we've seen any people announced for skills, dunk, or 3-point contest.
Yeah, so we'll see. I always like watching the dunk contest. It's going to be weird without fans, and again, it's going to be a different all-star experience next week. I was really happy to see the release of the second half of the schedule. I'm looking forward to seeing some games, and we get to play Philly again. I really want to see Jokic and Embiid play against each other. So I want to see them play well against Embiid.
Yeah,
so that's the thing that I'm excited about for the All-Star game. Him and Embiid, for a couple possessions, trying to show off and go at each other.
Faux show, man. Well, this mediocre 500 every week is not helping us, man. So we got to start to win 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 every week or something like that, or else we are going to be in that 7, 8, 9, 10 spot and in those play-in games that you don't want to be in come playoff time. So hopefully
how many games we played since this whole COVID. So they need to get in that 4-5 area.
Yep, absolutely. Well, here's to it, gentlemen. Thanks, Will. Glad you made it back safe, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks, Tim, for coming out, even though
you had
to leave those enchiladas behind, but I'm sure they're delicious.
Well, they're vegetarian enchiladas.
Oh, they're vegetarian enchiladas.
But they are actually really, really good. Homemade enchilada sauce.
I'm sure they're amazing, too.
They're really good. I actually requested them.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will catch you next weekend. All-Star Edition.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bros on Nuggs. Peace out, everybody.